Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to another World of Warcraft live stream where I'm currently in Orgrimmar and we have our friend Peep here with us that I picked up right over there, just hanging out on our head where I think this is the first time I found Peep somewhere in the world. And I knew like this little bird existed and was like in the game, and he's currently dressed like Great Father Winter right now, and he's so cute. Where Great Father Winter is here, and there are presents that you can pick up around the tree, and there's a very weird looking moonkin. I do not know all the druid like customization options that are in the game nowadays, which I think are actually pretty cool that they exist. But I'm currently in Orgrimmar and I want to head to Outland because today is a very special stream because I've been doing a lot of nostalgia trips across the world where there's two characters here that I'm just getting super interested in. Time walking dungeons and and we can do Blackrock Depths. That's right, for the anniversary event or whatever. But I've been doing a lot of nostalgia trips all across the world in Mr. Pandaria and Blackrock Mountain and the Caverns of Time. I recently did Wrath Lich King, and today we are doing the Burning Crusade, which should be the final nostalgia trip that I do in this like live stream series that I have going on, where I have a playlist where I've been playing through a lot of World of Warcraft. Let me see if I can pull up the playlist really quickly on stream, where I've been exploring a lot of the Burning Crusade, Wrath Lich King, Mr. Pandaria, Cataclysm, and like some other areas of the world, where I've been doing this alongside my like Let's Play series. And this is the last nostalgia trip I am doing, and this should be the second to last stream that I do in this little series, where I have another World of Warcraft stream series idea that I want to do. And then from there, I'm probably going to stop streaming WoW and really focus on Guild Wars streams and some other games that I want to play as well. Because I play through a lot of WoW, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I've done everything that I really want to do on stream. And I'm also kind of like finishing up a lot of stuff with my Let's Play series. Here's the link in chat if anyone happens to be interested. So I'm kind of finishing this up, where I'll probably have one more stream most likely after the new year. I don't think I'll be streaming in the next couple of days. But then I have some more streams that I want to do kind of in like a separate grouping of streams, which I've alluded to a little bit, where I want to play through some Dragonfly content and some general like retail World of Warcraft content, just to experience what retail WoW is like. And that is probably going to be my like last big stream series for World of Warcraft, unless I decide to do like more classic streams in the future, or if I actually end up really enjoying Dragonflight and I want to play like the War Within, which I might do at some point. I'm not entirely sure. The future is always open. But moving back to the Burning Crusade, I have done quite a few things here, where I've done the Black Temple, and I've done all of the Auchindoun dungeons. There's nothing in Nagrand, though I have explored a lot of Nagrand. I've explored everything in the Hellfire Peninsula. I did do Gruul's Lair in my Wrath Lich King stream just to do a little bit of TBC stuff. But now we can come down to Zangar Marsh, and I need to double check. I have a notes tab where I was keeping track of the dungeons that I did on various streams when I just went into the dungeon finder, and I think I did slave pens in that stream. I did. So I want to do Serpent Shrine Cavern, the Underbog, and what's the other one in here? The other one in here. And then I want to go over to Netherstorm. I'm going to do all three of these dungeons in this raid, and then we can go to the Isle of Qualdanis, and we can go ahead and explore the dungeon and the raid up here, where I'm really excited to do Tempest Keep again, because I really want to get Ashes of Alar. It's like one of the 3 mounts that I haven't gotten in WoW throughout like my entire time playing WoW, the other 2 being Mimiron's Head and Invincible, where it would be super hype if I got this mount on stream, but it's like a 1% chance for every time you go through there, so it's a little unlikely. But Zangar Marsh, of course, is always an incredible zone, where I just love how this entire area looks, where it's a mushroom based zone. It's just a bunch of giant mushrooms, And I think that would be a fun zone in Guild Wars 2, actually, just have a zone of giant mushrooms, because we have a lot of mushroom content in Guild Wars 2, and it would be fun to like just go super hard on mushrooms. That sounds really weird, but in Guild Wars 2 have like a massive zone where we have the storyline where the Naga are basically capturing all of the water in... One second, I need to get one of these mounts. I have... It's a Depth Stalker. Let's mount this. Where the Naga are stealing all of the water in this map, and they're basically trying to control all of the water that exists on Outland so that they can control the population, basically. Where this does give us 100% increased swim speed, which is nice. So I think the first dungeon I want to do is Underbog, and I need to remember what is going on right there. The Finclaw Thresher just falling through the world. But we have the slave pens. We have the Underbog over here. So let's come over here where the third dungeon is like a super big Naga dungeon, where the slave pens is kind of like a mixture of Naga and like the native wildlife here in Zengar Marsh, where the Underbog is really focused on the native wildlife here in Zengar Marsh, where I have a quest, bring me another shrubbery, where I don't have any reputation to get in here, I think. So I'm just going to run through here very quickly, where it is like a circle, so we're going to come right back towards the entrance, which is nice. It will allow us to get back out to the little hub area, where we see with classic World of Warcraft, we have dungeons all over the world, and they're like individual dungeons where you go to like a specific spot and like a specific map, and you like find this dungeon and you go into the dungeon, where there is like kind of a couple exceptions to that. One exception is Blackrock Mountain, where it's like one area that has like 2 different dungeons in it, but they're like pretty different. But we have Scarlet Monastery, which is like one dungeon that is basically 4 dungeons combined, and it's very different compared to like every other dungeon in vanilla World of Warcraft because of that, where it's like a hub area where you then have 4 dungeons that are like themed all the same as each other, but are like different bosses and different like stories and stuff going on. And people really like Scarlet Monastery a lot. So coming into the Burning Crusade, we see Blizzard really kind of like latched on to that idea of having like one environment with one hub, but then putting like multiple dungeons in that environment. So we see that here we have the Hellfire Citadel, which has 3 dungeons. Here in Zengar Marsh, we have the Coilfang Reservoir, which has 3 dungeons, 4 in Auchindoun, and then in Tempest Keep, there's 3 as well. And then if you go to the Caverns of Time, there's 2 there, but they're kind of pretty different from each other, though I guess also the same in many ways. So they really like latched onto that idea. And we see the same thing in Wrath of Lich King, where we have like the Oculus, and we have like Utgard Keep, and we have like the Nerubian areas, where they just put a bunch of dungeons in kind of like the same area. And I think that's fun, but they've gone away from that, starting again in the Cataclysm, and then with every expansion after that, we see dungeons being like very like separated from each other once again, where there's not really any dungeons that are like necessarily in the same exact area. I suppose with Cataclysm we have the 3 like Caverns of Time dungeons, which are kind of like all in the same area, and I'm sure this probably happened here and there without me really remembering it, so I don't remember every single dungeon in all the expansions I haven't played, but largely they are in pretty unique areas. We have Gazan down here, who I think would typically come up here, where there's this group attacking me. Let's drop down here. Let's deal with this Hydra, the second boss. I'm getting attacked again. Great Staff of the Leviathan. Who is attacking me? Let's get... Oh, I accidentally opened my inventory because I clicked on that. I don't have my Path of Frost key bound, which might be disappointing to some people. If we run up here, I actually want to leave that, and I guess we could have swam out of here. I don't know what I was saying there, swum. Where we kill this boss, and then we can come over to this area where we have a broken outcast, Swamp Lord Musolek. So let's drop right here, and then I guess I will also Path of Frost again. And then let's drop down this place. We're basically all the Burning Crusade and like Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. I do just feel a lot of nostalgia for them. And I have like a lot of fond memories of just leveling a character, you know, many characters through here actually. And just completing this dungeon many times. Where I don't tend to do dungeons too often anymore. I did do the Dead Mines on the Anniversary Edition of World of Warcraft, which I've been playing through very slowly and very comprehensively. And I might do the Stockades, and that'll probably be like the last dungeon that I do until maybe Wrath of the Lich King. Maybe I'll do some stuff in the Burning Crusade. But with Wrath of the Lich King achievements come out, I want to start doing dungeons again. Since anyone who doesn't know what I'm doing with the Anniversary Edition, whenever I play World of Warcraft, I always make a bunch of characters. I play like a ton of aughts. But with Anniversary Edition, I really want to focus on just having a single character that I focus on. Where we have this bear here, which is a druid, I think. And we have freed him. And I think there's like a quest where we can escort him, but let's just run to the end over here. We got Truth Bearer shoulder guards, very iconic shoulder guards. This little cap that I remember. Cap with a fire flash. And here we have the Black Stalker, the final boss of this dungeon. I'm not sure what the name of this creature's race is, but an iconic Zangar Marsh creature. We got the Black Stalk, a wand. So good for like mages and priests and whatnot that come through here. Warlocks. But then we have the entrance right here, which is very nice. And we can go ahead and just run out this way. Where I think the other dungeon's called the Steam Vault, if I remember correctly, it just came to me now. Where this is a big Naga area, and I'm not sure if it connects back through where the slate pins kind of do, but I think the Underbog is really the only one that like directly connects back, which is fun. This Thresher is still having a fantastic time. Someone took the concept of being in a mushroom-based zone a little too real. There it goes, up through the walls. Okay, over here we have the slate pins. I want to come up here. And through here we have the Steam Vault. Naturalist Bite. Another upgraded Moonkin. Wind Collar Claw, who we just saved from Watcher Zhang. Where? I don't really remember too much about what's going on here. Is it only... it's 3 bosses, okay. We have Hydromancer Thespia. At the height of the Night of Empire, the highborn Thespia delighted in art and music. Her love of these things vanished during the Great Sundering, when she and many of her kin were sucked into Azeroth's deeps and transformed into hateful Naga. In the millennia that followed, Thespia remained a close confidant of her childhood friend, Lady Vaj. Without hesitation, she journeyed with her comrade to Zangar Marsh and vowed to oversee the Naga's quest to drain the region's water supply. Here we have Mech'Engineer's Steam Rigger. The irradiation of Gnomeregan transformed many of the city's survivors into leper gnomes. Among these victims was the brilliant Mech'Engineer Steam Rigger. Although he escaped Gnomeregan and retained his intellect, whatever ethics and compassion he had once possessed were gone. He wandered Azeroth selling his knowledge to a number of unscrupulous groups such as the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Recently, the Naga hired Steamworker to operate the intricate machinery in Zangarmarsh's steam vault. And then Warlord Calathresh. Deep within the steam vault, the Naga have begun experimenting with a mysterious substance to strengthen their warriors and purge them of fear. Calathresh was one of Lady Vaj's first servants to volunteer as a test subject for this dark elixir. As reward, he has been charged with guarding the expansive steam vault and ensuring that the region's arcane machinery operates without interruption. So we have the first boss right over here that we can go ahead and deal with the Hydromancer. Here she has 2 Coil Fang water elementals with her. We got 2 Fathom Heart gauntlets. They're like purple gauntlets. That's fun. Nice little purple shade there. And then I think we can run to this boss next. I feel like this is a boss you can skip because I don't really remember killing this boss too many times. But maybe I'm just misremembering. But I don't really remember ever killing this boss when coming through here. But I guess if that door is closed, I must have come through here. But this might be another example of kind of like the level brackets in World of Warcraft, where this dungeon I think is like back in the day is like a level 67 dungeon, where once you reach level 68 you could start doing Wrath of Lich King, and I often went to Wrath of Lich King at like level 68 and didn't stay around until like level 70 or whatever. So I probably didn't have like too many opportunities to do this dungeon. So this one specifically, I don't think I ran too many times. I remember this area. Lots of leper gnomes around here. He says mommy, that's fascinating. Earth mantle hand wraps. Oh, that's like a shaman set item, but it's not a set item. But it like looks like it. The Serpent Crest life staff. Do we need to get main chambers access panel? It's a good thing that I'm like, oh, I think we need to get something in here. Let's run back here really quickly before we leave. They're just shutting down the Naga's whole operation here. Let's open this. You hear a faint echo. Now we can go back this way. And as we loop back around here, Rage is just hanging out. The doors up there should be open. It says locked right now. Oh, did I completely missed at the first boss. There's something we're supposed to interact with. So I did forget to do something. Let's run back this way. Mail from the auction house. I've been trying to sell some of the items that I got in the last stream, I think it was, just to get a little extra money. But this dungeon is actually decently small. It is like the final dungeon, and it's like kind of a big area, but all the areas are like right next to each other. So you don't end up having to run like super far. Where it's like a triangle basically. You hear a loud rumble of metal grinding on stone after we heard another faint echo. Which means the door should be open now. But you're like a boss here, and a boss here. So you're just like dart back and forth between these 3 areas instead of it being like a long like winding line where it's like boss after boss after boss down the line. This is a bit more like open-ended. So while it's like probably like the same like general areas like other dungeons. It just feels like a little bit smaller because it's like more open-ended and like where you can go. Here we just have to kill these two bosses before we can kill Calathresh. We should probably kill this boss first because like you do have to like loop back down here and then you just run back here. Instead of like running down here and then doing what I did with running back, and now we run this way. But the main door is now open. Here we have a ton of Naga in here. And you can see the warlord over yonder. The final boss of this dungeon.
You deem yourselves worthy simply because you bested my gods? Our work here will not be compromised. But exodai for life.
Wrathtide longbow. That's very cool looking. Oh, it's like moving around a little bit. That's so cool looking. But that is the end of the Steam Vault, which is the final of the 3 dungeons in this area, where we can now go ahead and go into Serpent Shrine Cavern, the raid of this area. Where the boss is a decent ways away from the main entrance, but like what I was saying earlier, it's not a super big area, so we can just run back out this way. We have the Wand of Holiday Cheer, where we can make everybody laugh, but I think I might delete that. I got some Winter Veil cookies, which is fun, fresh from the oven. Now this like piece of machinery here, like it looks like it's like fallen, but I think it's supposed to be placed like that because the pipes are going off into different areas. And here is the entrance. This water is still like splashing right here. I wonder if it like deals damage or something. Doesn't seem like it deals damage. Might just be what Naturalist Bite is casting. Just keep the Naga in this area for us to go in and deal with. But back out here, see if that Thresher is still hanging out. The Emerald Nightmare piercing the veil. And over here, I think. Can you just run through this area? Or waterfall control console? There we go. You can just run in. And now we have this raid, which has like 8 bosses or something. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bosses. But technically, there's 7 bosses because we have this elevator here, which is a very, 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 very tall elevator. And a fun piece of trivia is that a lot of people call this elevator the elevator boss because a lot of people die on this elevator, which maybe will die on this elevator, because if you just like jump in, you'll fall. If you're like just a little bit late to get on it, this is so cool looking in the center there. It's like Lady Vosh right there. But if you're late, it will go down and then you're like falling after it and then you die. And then sometimes it's like buggy, and if you have like bad latency, you can like fall through it, or it can like leave without you and then you fall. So a lot of people have just died to this elevator, but we're down here now, so let's go ahead and come through this way where we cannot mount here. I feel like I have a memory of being able to mount. This is kind of a funny area where we just came down the elevator and now we have another elevator to go up just a tiny bit instead of just having the elevator deliver us to where we need to go. But I think that's actually a really cool vibe. Where we do have the story of Illidan's main lieutenants, who are, I guess you could say Akama kind of, but are Lady Vosh and Kael'thas, where Kael'thas does betray Illidan, but Lady Vosh does not. So this raid is dealing with one of Illidan's lieutenants, whereas one of the raids that is like earlier on in the expansion, this is from like the first major patch of the Burning Crusade, I think, where the first raids are like Theroden's Lair, Gruul's Lair, and Karazhan, and then we get this raid, Serpentine Cavern, and then we also get the Eye of Tempest Keep, which has Kael'thas. And then we get Illidan's raid with him. And then we have the final raid of the expansion where we deal with Kil'jaeden. But we have Hydros the Unstable here, Duke of Currents, so just a massive water elemental that we can go ahead and just defeat, where I cannot cast any water abilities there. Got Lucian Frostbrand, collect the weapon champion appearance of Frostbrand, which is interesting. Let's go this way. It looks like there's a Kraken, which they did add the Kraken to Dustwallow Marsh in this expansion. So it looks like they kind of had the Kraken here in two different places. Or this is like a different one. This is the Lurker Below, which I think is we can like spawn this character via fishing, similar to the Hydra in Zul'Gurub. Let's come here. Do I have any way to fish? How do you fish in Retail WoW? Do we come? I have no idea. Professions? Fishing? Okay. Let's try to fish this Hydra up like this. We don't equip a fishing rod anymore. I've not fished in Retail WoW in a very long time. I have fished in Classic a bunch though, of course. Got a raw greater sagefish. If it's like a rare chance, or do you need like a specific bait? I'll go ahead and just cast one more time and then move on. Ironbound. Oh. There's the Lurker Below. Here I will just cast that a few times and defeat him. Get a few items. Glowing Breastplate of Truth. Can't really see it. I got this Ironbound Trunk, which just had some money inside of it. A silver and 75 copper. Can we come up this way? I think we can. We do have Lady Vaj's area over there, but we have this like outcropping that leads to like this like side part of this massive cavern where we have 3 bosses here. We can see some enslaved underblock colossi. Maybe they're not enslaved, maybe they're just here because they're having a good time. Or they tend to be enemies that we fight in Zangar Marsh, but there's a lot of like the beasts that we fight in Zangar Marsh that we can find within like these dungeons in this raid. This is kind of a creepy area here, where we have Leotheris the Blind. It was interesting, the dungeon has like lore in the dungeon journal, but the raids do not. This is a representative of Illidan, I believe. So he's just like keeping an eye on Lady Vaj and is being a presence.
You cannot kill me, Burnish Force. I'll be back.
Where we just freed a Dreadlord as we killed him. I like the blood of assets here in this cave. He has to live in a little bit of luxury. I think I need to clean up my inventory just a tiny bit. I have some black rock ore from Draenor. A lot of, or one thing of fish oil. So I think we have a Naga in this room, it looks like. Here we have Fathom Lord, Karethras. Wait, if you go back to Adventure Guide, go to Dungeons in the Burning Crusade, and we go back to the Steam Vault. Warlord Calathresh, and now we have Karathresh. So very similar names. Leggings of the Vanquished Defender, which I think is where we can pick a set piece.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
Got the Mechanical Grinch, can hang out with us. Here's like a green Yeti. Here we have Moral Grim Tidewalker, a sea giant. And there's some Murlocs all in here. And it looks like goblin huts here.
Lord of the Deep, take you! Aegean.
And we got a companion pet. That's fun. What is Aegean? Wow, Aegean.
I need a target.
Great currents of Aegean. No idea. But let's look at this. We got the Tide Skipper, so sea giant, and then we also got the Talon of Ajara, this sword skin, which is cool. And if we leave out this way, I think there's just one final boss for us to deal with here.
I don't have a target. I'm out of range.
I missed that singular broken there. I hope there was not something I'm supposed to interact with at each boss, because that would be very, very awkward if I have to like run back through to everything. But I think now that we killed everything, there's just like a lever over there we can switch. Or I remember there would be like a bridge or something to interact with. Oops. That should be enough for whatever Lady Vosh drops for us. I remember this boss having like multiple phases, but I think we'll probably be able to like one-shot her basically.
I'm out of range.
Now, there is quite a bit of trash in this raid, as there is in every single raid. Sometimes trash is harder than the bosses.
It's too far.
So, oh, right here, Lady Vosh Bridge Control. I was like looking at those things over there, but this should open up the way to Lady Vosh and the most powerful Naga. Oh, this is very cool. That's a fun animation. As the bridge comes out of the water, you can open up this path, find the Coil Fang Matron.
What is life? It has become a rare commodity here in Outland, a commodity that we alone shall control. We are the Highborn, and the time has come at last for us to retake our rightful place in the world.
Don't forget to drink your water. Lady Vosh, very cool looking Naga.
I'll split your understand. I am
And that's Lady Vosh. I think I'm going to Waypoint or Hearthstone out of here. We got the Fang of Vosh, we got the Serpent Spine Longbow. But a relatively popular character, where I really like how we go to Vajir and Cataclysm, which is named after her family. Let's go ahead and sell all of this stuff really quickly. Prism of Inner Calm. Reduces the threat from your harmful critical strikes. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead. Just run right back over towards the portal room here. And let's go ahead and come back down to Shadrath. Since now we've completed everything in Zengar Marsh. And now the final area in Outland that I have yet to complete stuff in is in Netherstorm, where we want to go to Shadrath here. Where we do have the Isle of Quadonis to go to once again. But that is technically in the Eastern Kingdoms. So let's go ahead and get on a rocket. And maybe it's faster if we get on the flight path, but we could also just fly straight there. So maybe let's do that, since I do have whatever speed flying for 20%. Where I really like Tempest Keep because of like the story we have going on here, and where we have in Nergrand we have Oshigun, which is a Draenei ship that the Draenei landed on Outland with, and then they settled on well, I guess Draenor at the time, and they settled on Draenor and hung out here for however many years, like 300 years or something. But then they have these ships over here that arrived from the Naru. The Naru brought them here, I believe. And we have Tempest Keep itself, the Eye, and then there's 4 satellite ships where we have the Botanica, the Arcatraz, and the Mechanar, where there's also the Exodar, which was commandeered by the Draenei, and the Draenei took the ship and then it crashed on Azeroth, which I did my Draenei Warrior Let's Play series where we explored like the Exodar and stuff, and a similar in vibe to these 3 dungeons and this raid here. And I think that's kind of just cool, where you have like the Exodar that you explore when you're a low level, and then you find the sister ships here. Oops, I've not been on full screen for a very long time. It's very like grainy there. If you come to like, what's the most recent place I've explored? Shadowlands, I guess, but I didn't explore it on this character. So if you come to Azeroth, it would then be like Zandalar. If you go full screen, a little bit less pixelated. Kajamite or Bust. Where I am like interested in doing like some stuff in retail World of Warcraft, where I really want to explore Dragonflight. But I've had these streams, and then I have my short series where we play through like each of the 4 expansions that I didn't play through at the time, and I feel pretty content with those experiences that I had there. Where I guess I should sell this really quickly. You can also get Preserved Holly, so we can ride our reindeer with a red nose. Let's come down here. We have this little town right here, Cosmo Wrench, which is kind of like the main staging ground for the entirety of Tempest Keep. Here's the weapon merchant. Go ahead and repair that, sell that. And then we have the 3 dungeons, which I don't remember the exact order. I think it's the Botanica, the Arcatraz, and the Mechanar. But let's do the Mechanar first. We can do the Alcatraz last. But let's go ahead and come into here, where we have 5 bosses. Or I think 2 of the bosses are like right next to each other. And I don't remember too much about any of these dungeons, so I'll kind of be going through it a little fresh. Where I do remember doing all 3 dungeons, and I have like very faint memories. Where we have Mechanolord Capacitus. Where these are, as I believed, are ships of the Naru. So we can see very interesting like technology and stuff. It says Bully. then we can come
I
up.
don't have a target. I
Where do we want to go actually? Why is it up here? Oh, this is one of the boss. Gatewatcher Iron Hand. So we need to find Gatewatcher Gyro Kill. Who is... I went past apparently. Can I like... kill you from here? No target and line of sight. Okay. Maybe we have to run back this way. But where's the gate? Was it that gate over there? As you can see, I've not been here in a while. It's kind of crazy. Sunseeker engineers. I like these like power cells or whatever. Just like rectangular prisms of purple energy. Tapped out for a second. Here's Gyro Kill. So they are bosses, but they're like not really bosses. It says an unforeseen contingency, and we hear a faint unlocking sound. Where we have this door over here, and we see an elevator in it. Tempest Forge Destroyer. We got Astro Mages. Oh, the elevator comes down right when we got here, which is nice. So we have another Menser, and then we have Pathalon the Calculator, who's a boss we see here and there in Outland, which is kind of fun. Oh, I remember this boss, kind of. I think she has like a big stun or something. We got Stellaris, a one-handed axe. That's cool looking. Oh, I'm like, I need to jump there. Oh, this does bring us right to an exit, which is fun. So we don't have to backtrack through the dungeon. Similar to the Underbog, but I think even a little faster. Where it's like a second entrance that we can run out of. We have all of these blood elves teleporting in. Here's Pathalon, the Calculator. I forget which zones we see him in, but we see like a variety of Kael'thas's lieutenants in different zones.
We are on a strict timetable. We will not interfere.
We got Abacus of Violent Odds, a trinket. And here's the exit right here, placed nicely for us. And it just brings us to the main entrance, which is kind of fun. But now let's come this way to the Botanica. Or maybe I should drop this in case we get what I want. Where we have the Mechanara, and it's kind of like an engineering area. And then we have the Botanica, which is kind of like a plant area, I believe. They're experimenting with a lot of plant life here. Where I actually remember this dungeon pretty well. Yeah, we just like loop around here and come to the center where we have the warp splinter. But then we have the Exodar, which is similar to the Botanica, but it's like wildlife, I think. And then we have the Alcatraz, which is similar to Alcatraz, where it is a prison where they have a lot of like dangerous enemies inside that we can fight. Alright, let's loop around this way. I saw here the Night Elves of Darnassus have asked for help in restoring an ancient of the arcane who found itself trapped in Tempest Keep. Frightened by the recent attack by Kael'thas and Strider's forces, the Warp Splinter is unable to differentiate friend from foe and is liable to attack any who disturb it. Here we have Commander Serranus. When the fallen Blood Elf leader Kael'thas seized control of Tempest Keep, he immediately ordered Commander Serranus to prepare defenses against whomever the Na'vi might send to reclaim the keep. She's just walking away from us. But we can like look through this window here and we can see this like beautiful area where Warp Splinter is. But we got the Revenger. Look at the map again. We have the High Botanist Freywin. Mere minutes after entering the Botanica, Freywin began conducting reckless experiments in order to unlock the power hidden in the native plant life of Outland. Thorngrin the Tender. Experiments require resources. Thorngrin the Tender makes sure that Kael'thas's botanists have the power and essence they need to reveal the Na'ru's secrets, even if that means untold numbers of living creatures must be sacrificed to obtain it. And then we have Lodge. The Na'vi gathered samples of unusual wildlife from across Outland. Their safeguards were destroyed when the Botanica was invaded, leaving some of the most dangerous specimens free to roam. So here's the botanist.
These specimens are very delicate.
You got Moonglade Cowl. For the druid it looks like, but we can equip it if we wanted to, which is kind of interesting. Got Freyers here. A variety of satyrs in here. Where, oh, I remember this room a lot. I think the satyrs deal like 2 different types of like energy beams here or something. I just remember like the very stark difference between like the color of like the maroon here with the blue. Here's the satyr bonus. They do have upgraded textures. Got a Ruined Dagger of Solace. That's interesting looking. The satyrs in stealth. Here we have Mutate Flesh Lashers. Alright, the Blood Elves are panicking because of all these flesh beasts around here. Where we have Lodge. You can see these lumps of organic matter. That's kind of gross, actually. Got Mithril Bark Cloak. And then you can see Warp Splinter perfectly through the door there, waiting for us. And this dungeon has 5 bosses. And I think this is another kind of high-level dungeon. Where I think the Mechanar is like a mid-ish level dungeon, but it is in like one of the 2 final zones in Outland, so it makes sense that all 3 dungeons here are pretty high level. Alright, let's go ahead and put this Ancient of the Arcane down.
Sanctuary. Do not belong here.
Which is kind of a sad storyline where he's just confused. Let's go ahead, run down this way. Or maybe I should clear my inventory again. We could run back to Cosmo Ridge, but we have a nice exit for us right here, which is nice. Where it takes us right back to the entrance. I'll just fly down here really quickly, since it is pretty close to where we need to go. I think the Mechanar was the first of the 3 dungeons, and that's the second. We have this quest here. Bloody impossible to get the Warp Chaser blood. I apparently have not done on this character, though I feel like I have. Should I hold on to this to try to sell it? Okay, let's go to the Arctraz. The prison station here in Tempest Keep. Oh, I had a hiccup. That's weird. I guess I do get hiccups a lot. So this one's like blue, this one's like purple, this one's red. I think the Exodar is like also purple. Or this one is locked, but they made it so anybody can open the entrance nowadays. But back in the Burning Crusade, you had to get the key by doing a variety of things. Where we have 2 stasis blocks and then the containment core, which I believe there is a very interesting character that we can find here. And we have like alliance shields here, and we have like these defenders defending against these protein hordes, these aberrations, protein nightmare. I do think there are some prisoners that we can free to help us out, so let's be on the lookout for them. But this is like a really cool dungeon because of the vibes, where there's just like a lot of like very powerful enemies around here. Protein spawns, that's kind of disgusting. Death Watchers, Soul Devourers. We have the first boss, Zaraketh the Unbound, a Void minion, I believe. Go ahead and leave all these here. And let's run up this way. Negaton Screamer. We have these Arcatraz Sentinels here. What do the Sentinels transform into? Oh, they just start attacking us?
It's too far away.
That's so cool looking down there. Definitely looks bigger inside than it does outside. Oh, there's some Eridar demons in here. I don't really remember these guys, but it's cool to see them. They look similar to Kil'jaeden, of course. This one looks similar to Archimonde. Seeing Eridar is always kind of cool. We have a spiteful Temptress here.
Did you call on me?
Would I call on you?
To do your heavy lifting? Most likely.
When I was prance around like an overstuffed peacock. I'll
Then I'll commit myself by ignoration.
What would you know about commitment? She's on.
You're the one who should be.
I'm a real angry.
Got some cool items here. Emberhawk crossbow. That's cool looking. Hungering Spine Ripper. It's like a bloody tip. We have Reflex Blades, which I love the Burning Crusade because they really focused a lot on like fist weapons in this expansion, and I always love fist weapons. Oh, you really only ever see them with like druids and shamans, and with druids you like go into cat form, and shamans I think nowadays it's for like elemental shamans, so you're just like casting lightning bolts. We are running along here now, so we can look down even farther. You can see the chamber we were just in, and then the massive chamber underneath. As we head towards the final area here, there's some ethereals in here, and the containment core. Which I've not seen anything to like free people from. Oh, there's an Ash-Tongue Deathsworn there. And there's some Gargantuan Abyssals. And some more demons. Sargeran Hellcallers. I think this is the final boss. And we have Warden Melikar. The Na'vi believed the persuasive voice of Harbinger Skyrus was silenced when they contained him and forced him into a long, dreamless sleep. The unfortunate Warden of Alcatraz learned the Na'vi were wrong. Skyrus had just enough energy to speak to Warden Melikar in a still, small voice. Time took care of the rest. So he is crazed.
I can't attack that.
And
Knew the prince. I have not been myself. I had to let them out. The Great One speaks to me, you see. Wait. Outsiders. Kael'thas did not send you. Good. I'll just tell the prince you released the prisoners. The Naru kept some of the most dangerous beings in existence here in these cells. Let me introduce you to another.
So we're about to see some powerful enemies. Some of the most dangerous threats to the Twisty Nether. Where we have this blazing trickster here.
Yes, another. Your will is mine. Behold, yet another terrifying creature of incomprehensible power.
Incomprehensible power.
Need
A
assistance?
gnome.
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who are... That is one mother of a headache.
Millhouse Manastorm himself.
What's this? A lowly gnome? I will do better, oh great one.
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly. I have no idea what goes on here, but I will gladly join your fight against this
That-
ignorant
Oh,
citizen.
you are so wise.
Prepare to
Yes,
defend
I see
yourself,
it now, of
Regent.
course.
One of the most iconic gnomes in World of Warcraft and
I just
Warcraft
need
as
to
a
get
whole.
some things ready first. You guys go ahead and get started. Some water.
Here we have a Dragon
What?
King.
I will sell them.
Effective spells.
Yes, sir.
Yes, now
Right away.
And of course, I'll need some mana. You guys are gonna love this. Just wait. For I bear a all right. Who ordered up an extra large can of whoop ass?
No force on this world or beyond harbors the strength to bend our knee. Not even the mighty Legion.
Welcome, oh great one. I am your humble servant.
Bear witness to the agent of your demise.
Who's bad? Who's bad?
Merely one
That's
of
right. We bad.
infinite multitude.
Good
Can I
work,
help you?
Millhouse. Can you teleport me out of here? I don't think you can. Or we can run out of here. Vile Blade of the Betrayer. Shafar's Nexus Horn. But this is just a very cool dungeon with a very cool final boss, Harbinger Skyrus. Akraji, I believe. Where all three of the dungeons here are definitely like pretty cool dungeons with great aesthetics and whatnot. Wish. As we run out of here, let's take a look at my achievements. Love and plunder. Collect 2,000 plunder. I want to look at Dungeons and Raids, Burning Crusade. I have them all. Exploration, Outland. I have them all. Quests, Outland. I have not completed all the quests technically, though I think I have in reality completed them all. Especially with Classic or World of Warcraft, I played through here a bunch. So I think there's 2 raids and 1 more dungeon that I really want to explore. Wait, let's come out this way. The other 2 dungeons are nice because they have an exit right at the end where you could leave, but since this is like the last of the dungeons, I think it's like designed so there isn't really an exit. So you could do like the Mechanar, and then you can leave easily to go into the Botanica, and then you can leave easily to come to this dungeon as like the final dungeon you can explore. Here, from there, I think you would typically want a Hearthstone out, then since normally you wouldn't really do like Tempest Keep itself. For this entire complex is like called Tempest Keep, but the raid is called Tempest Keep. But I think the area the raid takes place in is called the Eye. where it's like the main part of Tempest Keep, where we have like the 4 different satellites, with 3 being present here, 1 being crashed on Azeroth, of course, with Exodar. I'm still targeting Millhouse Manastorm. Do that there. Here's Butcher's Stand, so we're finally back at the entrance. And now we can do the raid of Tempest Keep, where we have the other of Illidan's primary lieutenants, except of course Kael'thas betrayed Illidan and sided with the Burning Legion, where he is now basically a servant of Kil'jaeden in complete service of Sargeras, the leader of the Burning Legion, who we defeat in the Legion expansion later on, where Legion has a lot of like similar vibes to the Burning Crusade, which is kind of fun. But here's Tempest Keep, where I have done this raid many times, and there are 4 bosses in this raid, and typically I just do like a Alar really quick, and then I just run straight to Kael'thas because he has a chance to drop the ashes of Alar. Or these other 2 bosses aren't really important if you're just trying to get like the mount drop, but they do drop loot. So if you come through here in order to get the loot, then you want to kill those bosses, depending on if you need their loot and whatnot. Where we have the Phoenix God Alar, which is actually a really cool fight because since this is a Phoenix, we do fight him twice. Where we can kill him like this. And he has such a cool model. We just have to wait for him to respawn right here. And since I was in the center, he like knocked me back super far. Let's run back down this way. We do have like these dragon hawks around here, which is fun. We got Claws of the Phoenix. 2 fist weapons, and they look so cool. Going back to my love for like fist weapons and polearms, kind of like the abandoned children of Classic WoW, where they're in the game, but they're not really good in Classic WoW since there's not too many options. But these fist weapons look so cool. So cool. The Solarium. Where we can come this way first, I suppose. Where we can, it's like kind of like an interesting like structure for a raid, where we have like the first main chamber and then it goes off in 2 directions, where these 2 chambers don't connect to each other, but they do both connect to the main chamber and the final chamber. So you kind of have to like run back through and whatnot in order to get to the other side. Where I don't really do either of these bosses too often. But we have High Astromancer Solarian with this really cool room where we can see off into the Twisting Nether. And of course this is another Naru construction. But let's go ahead and defeat her. So all these blood elves are attacking me. Let's go ahead and AoE them all down. It's actually kind of insane. Gotta make sure to kill the trash if you were doing this in current content. Got a Void Star Talisman trinket and then 2 other trinkets. So we got a total of 3 trinkets from this boss. We have a big group that we can loot right there. We actually did not get much loot. Just get some netherweave cloth to sell it on the auction house, of course, since I love to sell stuff on the auction house for whatever reason. Same thing with the trading post in Guilders too. Just gotta liquidate your assets, you know. There's good stock market terms or whatever. Back into the Phoenix Hall. Very cool looking. I love how this area is like super red. Then we have the solarium that's like purplish. It's the crucible blue. I guess this area is more orange, and then the final area is kind of red. So kind of referencing like the 4 different satellite stations, I guess. Or I guess the XLR is bluish, or maybe it's more purplish. Not sure. So we had a lot of blood elves on the other side, but here we just have some of these constructs here. Which we have a major construct over here, the Void Reaver, channeling the powers of the Void. Which is interesting that we have demons interacting with the Void, because the demons are supposed to like really hate the Void, but we see a lot of like Void constructs around here. Which I think if we attack the Void Reaver, which is like a Fel Reaver, which is super cool, I think these groups will attack us. So let's just make sure to clear them out. And then here's the Void Reaver. We'll see if that group comes and attacks. They do. I feel like one of the Yogscast's first videos is like about this boss or something. I don't remember, but got these pants. Interesting looking. Of course we can trade this in. Hunter, Mage, and Warlock. It's interesting that hunters are lumped into this group instead of it being like a priest item. I guess that just goes back to the idea that everything is a hunter item. Let's run up this way. Crimson Hand Inquisitor. I really hope we get the Ashes of War. Or if I come into my statistics, dungeons, and raids, and I get a lag spike. Let's go to Wrathlich King really quickly. You can see all the times that I've killed. I've only killed Ingvar twice on this character. That can't be right. I'm learning that I have not killed bosses as many times as I've thought on this character. Victories over the Lich King. 2. Only 6 times? Or 5 times? I feel like I've killed the Lich King so many times. If you come into the Burning Crusade, we have 16 Kael'thas kills, which I honestly feel like I've killed him like 50 times over the years. I've apparently only killed Gruul twice. That does not seem correct at all. I must have done this raid a bunch on another character, but I feel like this is the only character that I've really done this on. Huh. But here we have Kael'thas with his 4 advisors.
Power. My people are addicted to it. A dependence made manifest after the Sunwell was destroyed. Welcome to the future. A pity you are too late to stop it. No one can stop me now. Salama Ashalanore. Hold up against the Darkener, Thaladred.
Prepare yourselves!
So fun fact about this fight, all 4 of these bosses have a stun ability, which isn't too big of a deal when you're in here with like a group of 25 players, like how it's originally intended. But if you're in here
Blood for blood.
by yourself, it can be really annoying, especially when we have the phase where we fight all 4 of them at the same time. So I want to group them up, and I want to try to throw Death and DK on the ground.
Thus endure I reign
And I want to stack them on her because she doesn't really run away. But he also does like a range ability, but he does run to you with the dagger. But he'll throw like a dynamite at us to start. Or does he just keep doing bomb over and over? Can we like run up to him to kite him? There we go. That's how we do it. Okay. keep stabbing us. There's another stun. It's not the 20-second stun that I think she does or something. It's like a 10-second stun. So they're all stacked together.
As you see, I have many weapons.
Oh, we have periodically stuns for 4 seconds. How fun. But I really like how we get these like legendary weapons and stuff. And then we can pick them up, which I regret doing. But we can wield these for a short period of time. Which I think I'm going to delete them. I have to type delete every time. They do disappear after 15 minutes, so you only have them for the fight. And I think they disappear if you leave the instance, so if you like wipe, you don't have them at the start of the fight. Another strand longbow. Very cool looking. It's kind of cool how you pick up like a unique special weapon to use like during this fight. Where after killing him, he is going to just sit here for a long time and just like hang out, so the group has time to like prepare for the upcoming battle. This is the staff of disintegration looks like. Where I want to be ready to AoE. Oh, my poor throat. AoE them down quickly. Don't forget to drink some water. Let's see if I can get a good kill on all of them.
Perhaps I underestimated you. It would be unfair to make you fight all 4 advisors at once, but fair treatment was never shown to my people. I just returned to fate.
I went way too early. Oh, I got instantly stunned. And he, oh, I failed this. So I'm just going to be stun locked for a while. This is what I'm talking about. This is the true experience. There we go.
No way.
Alas, sometimes one must take matters into one's own hands.
Balamor Shanal! I have not come this far to be stopped! The future I have planned will not be jeopardized! Now you will taste true power! The sun.
Kill some phoenixes. And he lands. We can kill him. But we don't actually kill him. And I did not get it. That's sad. Twin Blade of the Phoenix. Very cool looking sword skin though. I got Crown of the Sun. More of a hood, but still very cool. Or let's hearth back to Orgrimmar. Or let's check our stats again. How many times have I killed Eladin? Only 5? I don't believe that for a second. I've definitely killed Eladin more than 5 times.
Ogra.
So all of this. And now we can head back to Outland, I guess. But we are going to take the portal and Shadowrath to the Isle of Quadonis. I'm just fascinated by my stats right now. I've only killed Morganis 7 times technically. Where's Mimron 3 plus 1 is I've only killed Mimron 4 times. My entire memory of World of Warcraft is like crumbling right now. We can't go to Silvermoon and then fly over to the Isle of Quadonis, but it's definitely faster if you just run down. Take the portal to Shadowrath and then take the portal to the Isle of Quadonis. This person is also taking a portal to Shadowrath. That's kind of funny. Where throughout all my nostalgia trip streams, there is one dungeon and one raid left that I want to complete. They are both here in the Eye of Quadonis, where we do have a chance to get a mount drop from the dungeon here, but I already have. Oh, this person also came to the Isle of Quadonis. That's kind of crazy. Where they just unlocked the achievement to explore it. Shattered Sun Warrior. I have a good collection that I can throw up onto the auction house and probably not get any gold for it, but maybe I will. I do have the Battered Hilt, which I remember really wanting back in the day, and I finally got it, and I did the full quest chain where it takes you through like Ice Crown and some stuff, and it takes you back to the Sunwell where you like cleanse the Sunwell, or like you interact with the cleansed Sunwell, and it's a really cool quest chain. Where I do have this that I got in a past stream, which I might just end up selling. But it's just a fun quest chain where we have this dungeon, which is really cool. Where we have Selene Fireheart. Once a respected captain of Kel'Thas, Sunstrider's personal guard, Selene Fireheart has maintained an unswervingly fierce loyalty to his lord while losing his sanity. Where we have a lot of wretched in here who have consumed too much magic. And we have this guy right here who is consuming too much magic as well.
Waste my time.
Where we have this very cool like mural of Kil'jaeden, which is fun. But this area feels similar to like Silvermoon City, since it is similar assets, or the same assets. Just a bit of a different geography. This mana beast right here, Vexalis. The second of 4 bosses. Defeat him, drain life. You have a statue of Kel'Thas right here, which is kind of fun. But if you come out here, we have maybe my favorite part of this dungeon. We have the Solar Vigil, where we can see the raid through the Scrying Orb. A fantastic little cinematic where we have Calicos here. Be still, mortals, and hearken my words. Or this is just an insane dungeon and raid where we meet Calicos for the first time here.
Must be destroyed.
Do not be frightened, Orc. Our ends are the same. Who are you? I am Calicos of the Blue Dragonflight. I have watched over the nascent powers of the Sunwell for some time, but now I see that its terrible power could usher in the end of our world. What can we do to assist you? Defeating Kel'Thas is a task worthy of your undivided attention. Beyond that, if you are capable of organizing an army, there are many wrongs in the Sunwell to be addressed. Perhaps we shall meet again there.
Time to waste.
What brings you to the Sunwell? A friend and I have come to rescue a young human woman from the clutches of the Legion Lord Kil'jaeden and his vile minions. We've discovered that Kel'Thas is trying to summon Kil'jaeden from the depths of the Sunwell itself. For the sake of this world, this cannot come to pass. I am committed to seeing that it does not. You're not alone here. Madragosa accompanied me on this journey, but we have become separated, and the Sunwell may fate
Fate
keep her safe.
hangs in the balance.
What would Kil'jaeden want with a mortal woman? And Vina is no mere mortal orc. Those who recognize her true nature stop at nothing to possess her. She once rescued me, and now I intend to return the favor.
Must be destroyed.
Which I believe is a reference to the comics. But we can continue through the dungeon here, where we have these like fell sentinels, which is cool. Guess I'll go ahead and loot this one too. Why not? Got some pants. But now we can enter into this area where we have a ton of blood elves in here. Sunblade with some demons and some Naga even. Another sentinel. Where we have this group where it's Priestess Orisa, but it's like a council with some of Kil'jaeden's allies, including some blood elves and a broken Draenei and this demon right here. Got Vial of the Sunwell, which I feel like would be an absolutely insane trinket. But of course, we did just complete Tempest Keep, where we thought we killed Kael'thas, but the Legion was not done with Kael'thas, and they brought him here, where now we can put it into him once and for all. It's kind of interesting, we fight him here in a dungeon when he was like a raid boss, so he was kind of like demoted, but this is still a pretty epic fight. Lord of the Blood Elves.
Don't look so smug. I know what you're thinking, but Tempest Keep was merely a setback. Did you honestly believe I would trust the future to some blind, half-night elf mongrel? Oh, no. He was merely an instrument, a stepping stone to a much larger plan. It has all led to this. And this time, you will not interfere.
But let's interfere.
My demise accomplishes nothing. Upside down. The Master will have you. You will drown in your own blood. The world shall burn.
Another Force chestplate. And there is Kael'thas dead forever. And we stream for 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 45 seconds, which is fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's escape to the Isle of Quadonis, where we are back here. Let's go ahead and chat with this merchant really quickly, and we could just sell this stuff. Got a jaded crystal dagger.
Hold your head high.
Dilapidated cloth belt added to our collection. But that is the last dungeon that I wanted to do in my little nostalgia trip series. And now there is one more raid, Sunwell Plateau, with 6 bosses. So let's go ahead and go across the bridge here and into the final raid of the Burning Crusade and the final piece of content that I want to specifically do in my nostalgia trip series. And through here, there's a statue of Kael'thas just hanging out at the Shepherd's Gate, and we can see this cool artwork of Kil'jaeden, and we have a ton of the Shattered Sun, which is the combined forces of the Aldor and the Scryers. And now we have Sunwell Plateau, where the Sunwell is one of the biggest pieces of like lore in all World of Warcraft, at least in the earlier days of World of Warcraft, especially with Warcraft 3, where you have a Sunblade Protector. And just like we've seen, a ton of blood elves that we can go ahead and deal with. For this area, again, feels similar to Silvermoon, as it is in the same region of the world. Here we have the Isle of Quadonis, with the Sunwell here, just north of Eversong Woods and the Ghostlands, which I'm currently exploring those areas in my Blood of Warlock Let's Play series, which is kind of fun. where we could see the Sunwell from Sunstrider Isle in episode 1 of that series. So now we are here.
I need a target. It's far away.
This area is kind of a labyrinth, I feel like. Like, it's straightforward, but you have to like think a little bit about where to go specifically, because you start here and then we loop around here and then we come up here and then we're going over here and now up here and then we go over here and then we come down here and we drop down there and then we like climb up here and we go around here a couple times, I think. So just kind of like a little bit of a confusing area, but I think it's like pretty straightforward and just laid out in front of you. So it's ultimately not like super confusing, but it is a lot of running, I suppose. Which I guess we can use ground mounts here, I just realized. Let's mount up. Oh, let's mount up onto my magic rooster. Let's go ahead and skip past this group. Very cool music. Up here, where we have Caligos, who we need to free, I believe. Of course, Caligos becomes the aspect of the Blue Dragon flight later on in Wrath Lich King, technically. And then again in Dragonflight after he gave up his powers in Cataclysm.
No longer will I be a slave to Malagos. Challenge me and you will be destroyed.
Sathford Opar, the Corruptor. We have Caligos here. Corrupting Caligos.
Losing sight. I am forever in your debt. Once we have triumphed over Kil'jaeden, this entire world will be in your debt as well.
Kil'jaeden must be destroyed.
Kil'jaeden must be destroyed. But he came here with a friend, Madragosa, who I believe is now Phil Mist. So let's go ahead and come this way, where we also have Brutalis, who we saw when we were here a long time ago, actually now. But we were in the open world and we could throw bombs at him, and he said, come back here with 24 of your best friends. Well, here we are, where we can solo this raid now, but normally you come through here with a total of 25 players. Right now we can put it in to Brutalis. Oh, there's Madragosa.
There's information to be had before this devil meets his fate. Where is Onbina, demon? What has become of Kalik?
Kalik.
Puny lizard! Death is the only answer you will find here.
I think Madragosa is losing.
You will tell me where they are.
Frost Blast, Frozen. Where did Caligos go?
Your magic is weak.
Speak. I grow weary of asking.
I will crush you.
Malagos, my lord, I did my best.
That was fun, but I still await a true challenge. Come, try your luck.
Alright, let's go ahead and avenge Madragosa. Kill this Pit Lord.
Lambs to the slaughter. Now, this gets interesting.
Got the Sunblade Micro Defender. corpse of Madragosa here. And I believe... I forget exactly how this works. It's been a bit since I've been through here. There's supposed to be something that procs this. Or Brutalis has now disappeared. I'm assuming you just have to wait a moment, but I can double check. I think it's happening now. The corruption of the fallen pit lord seeping into Madragosa, where she's now Philmis, which is a sad story.
Glory to kill Jaden, death to all who oppose.
Let's go ahead, put her out of her misery. We got the Swordbreaker's Bulwark, which I love this shield skin so much. But now we have Caligos hanging out here.
Madragosa deserved a far better fate. You did what had to be done. But this battle is far from over.
He puts out the flames here, so we can continue into the Sunwell, where we have killed the first 3 bosses, so now we have the next 3. It's kind of interesting that there's a total of 6 bosses in the Sunwell, but all 6 bosses are honestly like super iconic. It doesn't feel like there's like any filler bosses at all. So it's like a very dense raid. And of course, we have a fair amount of trash to deal with as we come through here. We're on Azeroth and the Eastern Kingdoms in the Isle of Cordalis and Sunwell Plateau. These blood elves are like different colors instead of just normal blood elves, but I can't loot that one. I do have Assassin's Mark marked for death. Oh, here's an assassin. And here, I believe we have the Eridar twins coming up, who I think we fight again in Legion. Same thing with Brutalis. A lot of the demons that we fight throughout World of Warcraft, we fight again in the Burning Legion. Except Archimond, because he is like a raid boss in Hellfire Citadel and World of Draenor, which I don't really care too much about. Witch's Sanctum.
Misery, depravity, confusion, hatred, mistrust, chaos. These are the hallmarks. These are the pillars.
Easily killed him. We got the Servant's Bell. So we get a Wretched Servant. I'm getting a lot of minis this stream. That's kind of cool though. We got 459 total pets. You can see the main outpost right over there. There's a ton of demons all around here. We have a like Beholder right there. Eye of the Beholder. Now I think we can climb up this way. Let's go ahead and mount up. Let's explore this place a little bit, because I do think we want to come here. Or there are a bunch of demons around here, and this is the area that we could see from the dungeon, and I cannot get rid of this Servant Spell for whatever reason. But here we have Muru, who is such a cool character, because we see Muru came with the other Naru who we find in the Exodar, but this one was captured by Kael'thas and was sent to Silvermoon City. And during like the earlier parts of the Burning Crusade, you could find this Naru in Silvermoon City, and like the Blood Knights are like doing crazy stuff to it. But now it's here in the Sunwell and it's corrupted, so we are about to fight this boss and basically cleanse him. But then we have the core of the Naru, which, to spoil a little bit, we kill Kil'jaeden, and then we have a cool cutscene which involves, or not like an in-game like scene, not a cutscene that we can watch that will involve this character, I believe. And if not, I'll mention what happens in the lore or whatever. But this is also like one of the hardest raid bosses in like the history of World of Warcraft. Where so many groups struggled with killing this boss because it's pretty challenging. But I think we can probably like 3-shot him because of our powers in retail World of Warcraft. There we go. This is a very cool scene here. Entropius. And we have defeated Muru. And now we can continue down towards the final boss. There's a Shadow Sword Guardian, just a straight up Fel Reaver running around these halls. And we cannot drop down there like that. But there's Hands of the Deceivers down there. And we can head to the final boss of the Burning Crusade. Let's go ahead and deal with these Guardians. It's cool to fight some Fel Reavers right before the final boss, since Fel Reavers are like the first big enemies you see in the Burning Crusade. Definitely kill a bunch of people. But here we have Anvina, and we can go ahead and kill the 3 Hands of the Deceiver. And now Kil'jaeden, coming out through this portal that's formed in the Sunwell.
So be it. Now I shall succeed where Sargeras could not. I will bleed this wretched world and secure my place as the true master of the Burning Legion. The end has come. Let the unraveling of this world commence.
Go ahead and defeat him.
You are not alone. The blue dragonflight shall help you vanquish the deceiver.
Oh. We have vanquished Kil'jaeden, the Deceiver, and we got an insane drop. Thoradal, the Star's Fury, which is so bound to this character that cannot use bulls, but I now have this skin unlocked on my account, which is actually insane. What a perfect way to end this
Few will remember your
nostalgia
name,
trip
yet
series.
this day you changed the course of destiny. What was once corrupt is now pure. Heroes, do not let her sacrifice be in vain.
Where this is the second ever legendary I've ever gotten in World of Warcraft. Not counting the ones you get during Kael'thas. The energy of the Sunwell courses through Thoradal.
Mortal heroes, your victory here today was foretold long ago. My brother's anguished cry of defeat will echo across the universe, bringing renewed hope to all those who still stand against the Burning Crusade. As the Legion's final defeat draws ever nearer, stand proud in the knowledge that you have saved worlds without number from the flame. Just as this day marks an ending, so too does it herald a new beginning. The creature Entropius, whom you were forced to destroy, was once the noble Naru, Mu'uru. In life, Mu'uru channeled vast energies of light and hope. For a time, a misguided few sought to steal those energies.
Our arrogance was unpardonable. We damned one of the most noble beings of all. We may never atone for this sin.
Then fortunate it is that I have reclaimed the noble Naru's spark from where it fell. Where faith dwells, hope is never lost, young blood elf.
Can it be?
Gaze now, mortals, upon the heart of Mu'uru. Unblemished, bathed by the light of creation, just as it was at the dawn. In time, the light and hope held within will rebirth more than this mere fount of power. Mayhap they will rebirth the soul of a nation.
Blessed ancestors, I feel it. So much love, so much grace. There are no words. Impossible to describe.
Salvation, young one. It waits for us all. Farewell.
But a very, very, very cool ending to the Burning Crusade. And Venus' sacrifice has given us all a new hope for the future. I thought there's like one more thing that happens here, but maybe not. I'll stick around for just a second to see if the thing I'm thinking of happens. But I cannot believe I got Thordahl, which I've always wanted this bow, and I finally have it here. It's very, 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 very cool looking. And I love it a lot. I always thought it would be fun to have where it generates magical arrows when the bow string is drawn. So it has like a special like arrow like texture or whatever, but you don't have to use ammo back in the day to use this bow, which I think is really cool for like a legendary bow. But of course, you don't need ammo at all anymore in retail WoW, so it's less cool in that regard, but still a very, very cool looking bow. And that's a perfect final item to get in my nostalgia trip streams, where I do have one more stream in this little series of mine that I want to do prior to starting my next big adventure. But I might do a few more things. We're gonna hang out for a little bit. Got the Sea Spray Emerald. I can't believe I got Thordahl. That's so cool. Spotters of the Thalassian Savior. Thalassian.
Be safe.
I was coming to here. There's the banker. I'll put it right next to my other legendary weapon, where I have Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. I now have Thordahl, the Star's Fury.
Don't be a stranger.
Which I got a Gilded Achievement for that, which is kind of funny. Where there are a few different legendaries that you can get. let's go ahead and head over to the auction house real quick. I just moved my mic. Let's go ahead and throw all of this stuff onto the auction house. I got Dragonhawk boots. Very simple green leather boots. 4 armor, 3 intellect, 4 stamina, and optionally 3 agility. Requires level 27, silver, and 39 copper. I'll sell this. I guess I should come to my mailbox really quickly. I got some recovered items. I can just sell those. I guess I'll throw these back up onto the auction house. Wish they have not been selling, but alas. Oops. But I feel very completed. Not completed every dungeon and raid on stream. And Vanilla, the Burning Crusade, Wrath of Chikeen, Cataclysm, and Mist of Pandaria. I'll sell these 3 things. Wish I've also done a ton of open world content, and I'll still be doing some Let's Play stuff. And I've explored Legion, or Warlords of Draenor, Legion, and Battle for Azeroth, and Shadowlands, where I summarized my adventures through each of those pieces of content in a short. And I want to do one more stream of exploring some more stuff, going back to Vanilla. And then I have some more Let's Play series stuff and some adventures in Dragonflight that I want to do, with maybe a couple extra things around that. Got some Trader's Tinders, Hello Gammon, Hero of Orgrimmar.
Goodbye now.
What was that Candy Blade? I think I saw this. It's kind of fun looking.
Luck be with you.
Everyone does that with candy canes. Just sharpen the end of it. Now, I don't know what I want to do. I could play a little bit of Vanilla, I guess, but I want to have a full stream for Vanilla. Hi, Jordan, with your pink waving hand. You. How is Coffee Shop Tycoon going? Did you figure out some of the achievements you're working on? Random Time Walking Classic. What is this? It's just a snow globe here. We get transformed into a goblin. I'm basically finished now. I just have to let it sit there until 1 million, which will take a while. I see, I see. You completed all of the other achievements, like the bankruptcy achievement and the trader one for the stock market thing. This is going to kill me, I think. I think I am dead. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Deceased even. No, it's those 2 plus 1 mil. I see, I see. Do you have to start a new save for those 2? Oh, I see. You need to start a different save for those 2. I'm on. Oh, I'm not dead. Insane. They fixed it so it teleports you to out there to Zadormi instead of into the room that kills you. I think I'll just fly down here. Could kill Lord Kazak. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Where we have Group Finder, Time Walking Dungeons, specific dungeons. Do Dragonflight. You can do Follow Road dungeons for Dragonflight. The Codex of Chromie. You have raids here. Lord Rockor, Belgar, Lord Incendius, and then Golem Lord Argomach, the Seven, and General Angerforge, and then Ambassador Flamelash and Emperor Dagrin Thorson. That's interesting. I thought I would just fly over to Karazhan maybe. It's all the way down here. I probably should have just waited for the Stranglethorn Veo Zeppelin. I have made this flight many times in my life. I feel like I need a better way to get over towards Stormwind, because you either go to Ratchet and fly to boot, or take the boat to Booty Bay, or you wait for the Stranglethorn boat. But I'll take the small opportunity to get the mount drop from Karazhan. I feel like I've done this raid a lot too, but I'm sure I've only done it like 3 times or something apparently. Oh, there's somebody flying super quickly there. Where would it be? It shows Prince Malchazar kills. I only have 5. It doesn't show the bosses before it though. I've killed Ragnaros 25 times. That's kind of insane. I've killed Deathwing and Dragon Soul 17 times. Haven't done any the War Within stuff. Bandages use the most. Heavy Windwool Bandage. I've acquired a total of 371,000 gold on this character, which does not seem like a lot, especially since I recently got like 200,000 gold from the one item I sold. So if I type /played, 95 days, 15 hours, which is, I feel like, an insane amount of time, because it's like almost 2,300 hours. Blackrock Mountain, of course. The Sea of Cinders. I'm almost there. Almost to Karazhan. You can see Stormwind off in the distance. I do really love the new render distance that they have in modern World of Warcraft, where you can just see super, super far. Where I've done a lot of stuff on stream and in videos in World of Warcraft, and I think I'm definitely approaching the end of everything specifically that I want to do, where there's a lot of little stuff, but I'm not really interested in highlighting all the little stuff. But I feel like this stream's like a big moment, as we're approaching the end. Most likely early next year I'll do my final stream that I was wanting to do for this series, and then start the next slightly smaller series, and we'll see how much I enjoy Dragonflight. If I enjoyed it a lot, maybe I'll play some War Within. But I do want to make more World of Warcraft videos in the future as well, but just more like concentrated and less Let's Play. But I do definitely want to do a lot of Guild Wars 2 stuff and some other games like Palia as well. Sky Shadows. Here we are in Karazhan. Flew all this way just to kill the first boss real quick for a 1% chance to get a mount drop. It's the average World of Warcraft experience. Let's drop in here. We're just doing some mount farming right now. Which mount farming is a pretty big part of World of Warcraft. That a lot of people do. And I enjoy mount farming a lot actually. Just going through legacy content, killing some bosses for a small chance to get a cool mount. And then when you do get the cool mount, it's just a really, really cool experience. Here we have Midnight.
Come, Midnight! Let's disperse this petty rabble. Always knew.
No mount drop for us. Let's come into our adventure guide really quickly. Let's go to Cataclysm. Let's go to Dungeons. Let's go to Zul'Gurub. So there's a chance to get 2 mount drops from Zul'Gurub. So maybe I'll go try that real quick. Only in the heroic version. Or I guess in the normal version too. Does that mean we can do it like over and over? I'm not sure how that works. I spend a little bit of time in Zul'Gurub. Is there a mount drop in what am I doing? Adventure guide, dungeons. If you go to Zul'Aman, are there any mount drops here? No, there are not. I do miss having access to the old versions of Zul'Aman and Zul'Gurub. Okay, I think I currently have dungeon difficulty set to heroic. So let's just mess around with this a little bit before I log off. We need to come kill the Bloodlord, and we need to kill... It's Kanara, right? All these plants down here. Let's come back into here. Yeah, so Kanara and Mandokir. Which I do kind of like the Stranglethorn storyline with how it sets up Zul'Gurub. Yeah, a lot of people spend a lot of time just mount farming throughout this game, trying to get rare special drops. And I've definitely done my fair share of it in my time. Apparently not as much as I thought I have according to my statistics, but I do think I played on like a bunch of other characters before too. A partial 4th clue. This building is kind of annoying because I don't think it can jump over. You have to take the long way around everywhere. Where there is the swift Azulian tiger that you used to be able to get here, but now you can only get the raptor and the panther. Where we have this boss. Let's hope for the best. And we did not get it, but we did get the roaring mask of Bethic, which is a cool helmet skin that I like a lot. It says you can get it in normal. I don't know if I believe them. But let's go find the raptor guy. Which I think we can just loop around this way. There's like a bunch of like bonus optional bosses you can do here as well, which is interesting. I still can't believe I got Thordal in the Sunwell. That was the perfect finale. I wonder what the drop rate for Thoradol is. Is it the same as mounts? It must be like more, because I think a decent amount of people can get it. It's a 7% chance drop. So, a fair bit more common than the different mounts you can get. But there's no mounts you can get from the Sunwell. So it's cool to get that specific drop. It's like the big drop of the raid. Got boulders. Oh, I got hit by a boulder. Let's kill this guy. No more boulders. Got the recipe for a wild vine potion though. We're in combat? Okay. Some Gurubashi warmongers. And some Zandalari around here. This guy's so small.
My blood feeds
And
my
no drop for us.
feeds.
Alright, I think we can do it in normal, and I think we could reset the normal over and over. I'm not sure. But I think I'm gonna hearth back. And let's clear out my inventory real quick.
Strength and honor.
And I suppose I'll sell this stuff on the auction house real quickly. Drakthir Thaumaturge.
There is much to be done. Let us share tales of battle.
Oh, I flew into the tree and it dismounted me.
Yeah, what do you want?
Right, let's throw this up. And then I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this stream good here. Where I'll run an ad in a second, and then I'll end stream. Where it was fun to explore through the Burning Crusade, and I've now completed all of the little nostalgia trips that I wanted to take across the Road of Azeroth. Where there is one more stream in this specific series that I want to do before we explore a little bit of Dragonflight. Where we'll see how much of Dragonflight I want to play through, but hopefully maybe a decent amount. It'll just depend on how much I end up enjoying Dragonflight, which I feel like I'm not going to enjoy too much, but I definitely just want to try it out since it is some of the newest content in World of Warcraft. And I've been playing a lot of WoW recently, so it kind of just makes sense to play some of the newest content. But that'll be in the future, where I hope you all enjoyed watching this stream, and I hope you all have a good evening. Make sure you all take good care of yourselves. Have a good one.